Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. I, like Terry, I love babies, and I love working. I love the fact that I got some baby journals commissioned and, have that sort of rattling around in the back of my mind. But I also know myself well enough to know that every so often I need a change of pace. So the other night, I pulled out these two chenille covered journals with the intention of doing some work on them. If you saw the earlier videos, you know that I've dedicated both of them to peonies, one of my favorite flowers, and it just seems to go with the colors. So anyway, I think the fact that that this is my basket of stuff. This is pretty small. This is 9 inches by 6.5. I think the fact that I have this much as opposed to, a steamer trunk and a tote and whatever, like I do for some things, sarcasm, means that I should be able to get these done sooner and on to the next thing. Anyway, so I don't know if I've shown you this before or not. I will bring you up to speed on this one. I'll show you what I've done on the other one and then actually try working my way through an innovative, or a first time cover topper journal thingamajig. Oh, before I do that, I should show you this. Now, I believe, the name is there. These are Martha Stewart stencils. I've had them for a long time. I just used them for the first time yesterday, or whenever that was. Beautiful peonies, and obviously delicate, and so on. So it's not often I can actually tell you a brand name of something. Okay, now I think, saw me show this part, but I'll just do a quick recap. Oh, Teresa, I said I was going to add something to give these white roses a little oomph. This is from see, that needs a wiping. This is from one of those Happy Life planner things, and I'm including this as a writing board. So I don't know that I probably didn't do anything else in here. I might have shown you all this, but what I want to do is use, this is called Lace. This particular one is called Lace. It's a Fisker's brand, and it has 3 options for adding a bit of a decorative element. Now, of course, it would have been smarter to do this before. Which one do I want? Maybe this one. It would have been smarter to do this before sewing in the signature pages, but hopefully I can still make it work. This is one of those tricks that I've picked up from watching Kathleen Maurer. She does it often, and I love it. But it's one of those things. Unless you actually make it your business to find the tool and do the work, or replicate the idea, it's kind of in one ear and out the other. Now, you will remember, perhaps, if you saw the other videos, that I collage some of my... Oh, what's going on here? Collage some of my napkins onto, probably mostly pink paper, but it doesn't matter, I guess, what color it is. Oh, that didn't work very well. I probably didn't have it centered in there. Anyway, I'm just going to quickly do this as I bring you up to speed. well, I guess no, I won't make you watch all of this. I'll continue to, what is going on here? Now this looks pathetic, so I'm just going to turn that into a curve. Okay, that's probably a good sign to stop doing that. So since then, since I started this, I've found a few more peony things that should work their way into these journals. So I'll just quickly show you what they are. Now there are other flowers here. I don't need. Oh, maybe could that be a peony? I don't know. These others are all peonies. So I don't know where I got that. Here's another peony. Here's another peony. This one is beautiful. A coloring book page. Peonies and a butterfly. This came out of a baby book. They had used, well, I guess all of these did. They were, look at that little fist. They were showing some knitted, or I guess, knitted projects, and had used some beautiful peonies as part of the staging. So I have that. But let's pull in this other one. Now, I don't know if I ever showed you this. As you might have grown to expect, there is a backstory here. So this thing is actually a piece of foam, craft foam. Now, why does it seem, well, I guess it seems harder, more rigid because of the stuff I've added to it. Anyway, I didn't, well, or maybe I don't remember how I ended up using a yellow one. But yeah, why is this white? I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I used a yellow one. Then I used some pink tulle. And then I used some of these fussy, these thrifted, more focal points of lace. And the reason I ended up having to do all that is because, oh, and that's a napkin. The reason I ended up having to do all that is because if you look really carefully here, you can see a little bit of like yellow perhaps showing through, because of course, as things got saturated with glue, that color came through. And I was a little bit sick when I saw that, to be honest. I also used some of these flowers. Now they're not peonies, but perhaps they could be. That I thrifted when I was with, let me get some glue here. Looks like we might need all the big guns. It was something that I thrifted when I was in Manitoba last year with Kim and Thelma. So I'm just going to add a bit here. So this thing has been sitting, waiting to be used as a journal topper. But by itself, it looks like something is missing. So yesterday, because I needed a break, I bound together no. Oh my goodness. Oh, you know, this is where a swear jar would be really handy. Would you believe, I mean, the book is upside down. Unbelievable. Okay, let's just revel in the enormity of this blunder. I, without checking, obviously, had the book upside down. I had a little, I had some difficulty sewing around the edge because, again, first time. So there was a little teensy-weensy bit of the white paper showing. So I cut up part of a doily, and I thought, oh, that'll be very lovely. I also had this interesting piece of chain. Now, I've never done a chain closure before, but, there's always a first time. Actually, this may not be quite as bad as I am thinking at first look here. So, I didn't think there was going to be a glue strong enough in the world to add something this heavy to the book. So this was my plan. And you can, I don't know, maybe you can see, I stitched it down using, I don't even know what that was. It was some kind of cord that was kicking around here. And I glued this down. It was going to look so beautiful. I've got this sort of darker silvery chain. I found some tassels. I added the tassels, 2 pink, 1 silvery gray, to one of the links here. Okay, let's begin saving the day here. So I need a seam ripper. Well, no, let's think this through. This still needs to be secured. Now, the short end of the chain, and I don't even know how this is going to work because all I have at this end is this bigger circle. But I thought I would add a lobster, I probably could find a lobster claw that is big enough so that, if I have to remove some, like whatever. I thought, just do it. You'll cross that bridge when you come to it. Now, what if I just flip this thing over? Now, I rarely do it, but in this case, I wanted my strings on the outside because, of course, I hadn't thought it through to the chain closure. And I thought, I could dangle some beads or something from here. Now, I didn't want where this chain wrapped around to be exactly where these strings were located. So that's why I put it above. Now, if I turn this over right side around, now it is below that. So I can get another piece of, I can cut more of that doily off, still do the same sort of effect, maybe this time. Okay, that's showing sort of at the top now, so I could do it maybe closer to the bottom. I don't have the little white boo-boo to cover, so I can pretty well put that wherever I want. Let me just quickly cut a section. Now that is such a rookie mistake. I cannot believe that I did that. Sorry, I'm just, again, I've said umpteen times, I don't know how to crochet. It just amazes me that a person can take a pair of scissors to something like this and not have it all just end up as a pile of threads in your hand. Okay, so I just basically cut through kind of at an angle here. That was me late. No, I think I used tacky glue, so that's ready to go. See, I didn't think I'd be redoing this part. So what I'll do, maybe to sort of offset, you see what I mean by offsetting? Since this is closer to the top, I could make this closer to the bottom. I could even have it, extending a bit beyond the bottom if necessary. If I don't like it, I can cut that off. Okay. I guess I should glue this down right now because the next step is anchoring this with some thread. Let's just take the bull by the horns and do this. I cannot believe I did that. Oh my goodness. Where is the swear jar when you need it? Oops, 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 oops. Okay, so I guess I didn't need to, oh. Let me wipe this while there's still, before I stick something into that glue puddle. Okay. Now, I guess while that's drying, I'd better thread a needle. I have this, I guess it doesn't matter. I did pull a few spools of thread that I thought I could use because, of course, on this front side, it doesn't matter. I could be using, lime green thread and no one would ever know because this journal topper will cover it. However, I now have a problem at the back, and I'm going to double this up just to make it a wee bit stronger. For those of you who maybe have never seen this before, this is how I learned to tie a knot from Rachel at Roxy Creations. So you lay your needle parallel to the thread, you do a few wraps around, and then you just, between thumb and forefinger, just slide this all down. You end up with a nice knot, and it's, well, in most cases, it's pretty close to the end of the string. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Now, okay, so you can see I stitched this here and here. I'm not sure why I didn't do anything right at the spine. And all I did here was this silver tassel, as you can see, had a long hanger or loop or whatever you call it. These little pink guys did not, so I just took forever, but I eventually got them on there. I'm thinking maybe I should, no, I'm not going to put a stitch there because it will be obvious. So, of course, I had, now I suppose this loop of lace is going to be exactly in the wrong spot. So, I kind of want this to be pretty even. So the reason I can do this is because obviously this is a fabric cover. Not sure if you can see what I'm doing. I'm just basically catching some of the fabric and just going over part of the link a few times. Again, neatness is not my concern at this point because the journal topper will cover it. And neatness not being the focus is also what I'm now going to have to worry about for the back. So the idea, and I'm adding more stitches than I did prior on the other side because this thread is thinner than that heavier stuff that just happened to be the right color and kicking around here. And I also did it on the other side of the link just so any weight is not going to be you know, stretching and straining the fabric. So that seems pretty secure. Basically, I'll just go through. Whoopsie. Sorry if you can't see, but all I'm trying to do here is make a couple of, you know, tight knots. Do that again just to, because, you know, who's going to trust one knot? Not this kid. Maybe we'll do a third one just to say we did. Oops. Cut it off reasonably short. Now, of course, I have other chains. I could have picked something with less weight and bulk and, you know, that lies flatter. But I thought, well, you know, maybe it's one of those go big or go home kind of moments. So let's just make sure that, in fact, my thing will cover this. Now, see, this could have been a hair closer. It's kind of good that this is kind of falling between those peaks in the lace, especially if I pull it over a little more. Okay, so if I do my other reinforcing thing about here, I should be fine. Again, same scenario. Now I've probably moved the chain up a slight, you know, a few degrees. Oh, so why did I make a knot there? And the reason is that I want the chain to come between these loops and not be constantly either squashing that down or, you know, again, putting undue stress maybe at a place that isn't ideal. Yeah. I don't know why I should be so surprised that I goofed up like that. I was doing this while the Oilers were playing their second game against Las Vegas Golden Knights. And, you know, to win 2 games in the away arena is a pretty big deal. And that's exactly what they did because, of course, every round is a best of 7. So now they come back to Edmonton. Let's start tying this off. They come back to Edmonton leading the series 2 games, 2-0. And our arena is fairly new, and it holds 18,300 and, I don't know, 40-some people or something. Plus there is what they call the fan zone, and the Moss pit, MOSS. There was a Down syndrome guy by the name of Joey Moss, who, I don't know the origin of the story, but anyway, he became like an equipment boy or something in the, well, he wasn't a boy, he was a man. But anyway, equipment boy in the locker room, and almost like the team, well, we don't want to say mascot, but, you know, very much a part of the team, was loved by players and fans alike. So he died maybe a year or 2 ago. So, of course, his face is captured in a mural somewhere, and just out of fondness, the area where people with no tickets and no hope of getting inside. Maybe I could put this on upside down now just for a little drama. For people who can't, you know, don't have access to a seat inside, because there are watch parties even when the team is out of town. So I think maybe for $10 or something, you can get a seat inside. Otherwise, if you're young and can stand for all those hours and want to party outside, you know, you're sort of that, what I would almost call the popcorn crowd, because when they show an aerial view of that area, it looks like corn popping in a pot because everybody's jumping up and down with sheer joy. Okay, before we go any further, before I attach this, and I do have a plan because this looks a bit unfinished to me. So, but anyway, let's just, right side up. Let's have a look at what's going on here. Now you can see that I did go through and did the corner punch. I think a different, oh, why did I not do, did I just do some corners? Looks like I didn't finish. Looks like I was very random in what I was doing. Anyway, these papers I'm sure will look familiar to you. Napkin, just plain old paper. This was gift wrap that I fussy cut around and added to some pink paper. This was avocado dyed. Oh, there is part of the stamping of the buds and the leaves. Napkin, little doohickey on the corner here. Wrapping paper. This was something that I took out of the journal that I won from Angela. That's Kool-Aid dye, apparently. Some of these didn't turn out the greatest either. A little bit of stenciling. Oh, I didn't realize those were going to... Okay, well anyway, I stenciled on top, this... It's not wax paper. I'm not sure what it is. Baking paper. Here's another beautiful coloring book page with peonies. Here's a napkin. Here's more stamping. Did some stamping there. Now on this side of the envelope, I guess I could either turn that back and maybe cut that open, make it a little pocket, or I should definitely open it up and make it a pocket. But anyway, that's not what we're here for today. I tried to sort of spread the stenciling throughout. Okay, so that's what we have inside. Now, this is what I wanted to use here. However, I thought it looked a little incomplete. So I started picking some stuff. I found this brooch, scarf pin. So, you know, it just has that loop there. This was with some of my boho stuff. This was with some of my boho stuff. And I thought, well, and here's a scrap piece of lace. I thought, you know, maybe I could somehow do some layering here. Now, it annoys me how this keeps curling back on itself. Now, so far, all I've done is sort of squish these things together and pull them through there. Now, to, I guess, make it more secure, what I should do, now, I don't know if I'm just going to make this worse or if this is going to make it better, but I'm going to cut this little doohickey off here and see, and I sure hope that it doesn't, that the new end wants to roll also. So I don't know what's up with that, but maybe I need to make this a more jaggedy thing instead of trying to be too straight. So let's, that way if it does curl back on itself, it will not look like a little sausage roll or something. Oops, I don't want to snag it. I also, okay, I should probably just, so tell me why, this is one of life's unsolved mysteries. Why is that side rolling and the other side not? Think what I have to do. Well, I won't bother gluing it now, but if it is ruining the line of the look I'm trying to create, then I will cross that bridge when I come to it. So I'm just slipping, I'm kind of bunching this up a bit so it fits through the opening. Now, I suppose it would be nice if I did it so that the silvery side is showing as opposed to the... So what I could do is, once I'm happy with the placement, is do a few stitches through here, like right there, to make sure that it's not going anywhere. Now this is a bit longer, so again, we'll scrunch, put it through there, let it be slightly shorter than the silvery part. Okay, so you guys stay put while I thread the needle again. If I can pick up the needle. Oh dear. Yeah, so anyway, it was an exciting time. The game wasn't decided till, I think it was the first period of overtime. So of course it's called sudden death overtime, which means that as soon as one team scores, it's all over. So, you know, it's heightened pressure, heightened excitement, crowds go wild. Okay, so that's going to fold down. Now I've got a bit of bulk here, but I do want all of those layers, so just going to whoopsie, kind of do a whip, I think it's called a whip stitch. Let's make sure I'm below the actual ring part. So I'm just sort of throwing my needle through the opening. Whoops. What the heck? Did I go? I went where I shouldn't have gone. Where's the swear jar? Backtrack. Yes. Anyway, I guess, you know, if you don't mind telling me in the comments, are you the kind of person that starts a project and just works tirelessly to get it done? And tirelessly could mean, you know, get it done in a day, get it done in a month, but you start a project and take it to completion. Or you're more like me in that just for your own, you know, to satisfy your own work style and to keep yourself interested in what you're doing. Do you have multiple things on the go where you work a little bit on this, a little bit on that? Again, just to I think I'll just knot this off here. Just to keep, again, to keep things interesting. I have been, and the reason I'm saying that is I'm getting really close to finishing Daisy's baby book. But I also have those others that need doing. So if I'm, like last night I took apart a baby book, that now has some fussy cutting options in it. Okay, so now this is going to be a heck of a thing. I wonder, now see, if Kim was doing this, I'm sure she would have covered this back thing to make a flat surface so that when a person applies the glue, you know, you've got a bigger, better surface to, oh, see, and it's rocking a bit too. Let's get a feel for where this needs to sit here. Okay, so we don't have to worry about a ribbon or a tie or anything going over the topper because it is now embedded underneath the topper. So this could, but it feels like the gap is here. I suppose I could do it. I mean, I could do anything at this point. I could put this here and that sort of creates that line, and this goes off to the side, which fills that space. It's too bad that this thing is as hard as it is, because otherwise I would attempt to, I could use fishing line. But can I? Oh yeah, I should be able to do that. I didn't put the fishing line away. It's still here. Where's the end? Or another thing, I always have, I think that's here too. See, that's one of the advantages of never fully cleaning your desk or cleaning it just long enough to make another mess. Look at what I have here. Anyway, I kind of wadded it all up so it would, you know, not take up all this space, but I could use a piece of, do I have another one here though? Probably not. I was going to say I could use wire to secure this metal part, like presumably, let's find the end here. Presumably, I could, with a needle, treat this like thread, force it through with a needle through the foam section. Oh my goodness. It was so beautiful. Okay, there's the end. So let's thread this wire. Now, it would be good if I had some glue on there as well. However, maybe I would be able to get some, well, oh, clearly I'm not going to pull this wad through so I need to cut off a chunk. Now I think I need to do this in at least 2 places. Come on. So that if I cut it there, that should be good enough. These are not proper, these are not the right cutters, but they will do in a pinch. Okay. So Now, let's get a feel for where the right spot is. Somehow I kind of like it there, because this seems, or do I like it there? But then now the hole seems here. I think I like it here. Okay. So all I'm going to do, oh, I might need a bigger needle. Oh, maybe. Oh, good, 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 good. So, oh, but now can I pull this through? Too bad I don't have some decent pliers here. Oh, this is when the needle comes loose and stabs me in the heart. Oh, and puts me out of my misery. Okay, let's get this down to, or maybe I could leave it. No, I probably don't have enough wire. I was gonna say 1 thickness. Come on. I want to hold on to one end, but I'm having trouble getting in there. Good grief. Trying to, get my finger. Okay, now which one is going to come through? Probably the one I'm holding. Okay. Why do I have 2 things sticking out here? Did I break the wire? Yes. Oh my goodness. Well, okay. Let's try this again. All I'm trying to do is make a loop. So I should be coming in from the bottom side. That makes more sense. Well, let's use the same hole. Okay, so where is this thing coming up? So hook this on that needle. I shouldn't have such a crisp fold in there, in the wire, because I'll keep breaking this until the wire is in little 1-inch pieces. Come on. And then end up having to redo it with fishing line. Okay. So, I was thinking I would do it like a bread tie, sort of, but maybe to give myself a little more working room here, let's see if I can just maybe tape down one of these ends. I don't know how much of this you can see, but honestly, this is craziness. Now, again, because this wire is thin, I don't want to break this second piece. So let me try to get, it's a little bit twisted. Let me try to get pull, which is the piece that isn't taped down. Okay, that's that one. Okay, so now I just have to go back down through the foam again to have my first anchor. Let's maybe, well, it looks like I'm going to put it around the outer edge of the scarf pin. Ah, just stabbed myself. Come on. Oh, and it tore, it tore through the Scotch tape. Is anyone surprised? Okay, get this needle off here. So I've got these two ends, which is holding this thing down. So I am doing it like a bread tie, but I will also will those cut? Probably not. Don't have my real wire cutters here. Okay, so that is kind of what I was hoping for. Now let me just reach for some masking tape. Maybe that'll be a little stronger than Scotch tape for holding this down and preventing it from, you know, tearing through or whatever. Okay, so good thing these flowers are not holding down very well, so that's kind of probably a blessing, because I can have them, oops, that's a thread from the sheer floral piece. I can have them, you know, a little bit overlap and it looks a little more au naturel. So let's turn this edge under a smidge. Check the positioning. Yeah, it's probably fine right about there. So maybe I will do my other anchor here. Come on, baby. Oh. Did I do that wrong? Yes, I was supposed to go in from underneath. You were probably saying that at home. So I'm going to, pull, oops, that's kind of getting short there. Okay. See, do things 14 times and it gets easier. You develop a technique. Now, I can't, well, let me finish this part, then I'll tell you what I was thinking. Oh my goodness, is this day 3 of this video? Okay, what I was thinking is that not sure. Why did I do it so that the shorter pieces are behind? Wasn't that kind of a dumb choice? So what I would do now, I think, oh, but I wanted to use that, make this look like a flower again. What I was going to say is that if I want this to sort of stay where I put it, so I could have the backside showing there, I suppose. I could put a smidge of glue but maybe that's, well, I guess it adds a bit of interest. I have to say, as painful as that was probably to watch, that seems to have been the answer there. So before I glue this down, maybe I should make this more dimensional. Oh, and you know what would be nice in the middle? Is like a center. But I'm going to have to stitch this down again with wire, unless that's two silver things together. Oh my goodness. What do I want to do here? Let me just quickly reach for something that might solve my problem. Sorry, guys. Oh, I don't have... I thought I might have had a smaller pink flower. Nope. Okay, and I think this, now mind you, I could dye, tint this. Let me put those back. Okay, so I don't want to cut the stem off till I know I'm using it. Oops, oops, it's alive. Oh my God, where did it go? Well, let's grab another one. Okay, we'll just bend that. I don't like it. Okay, I'm going to sleep on this, but I think what I will, mind you, I was going to say I should glue this whole contraption down, but that's not smart, because if I need to anchor this, let me hold this up and see what's what. Maybe it's better without it. I suppose I could find, you know, another silver piece of something, jewelry. Oh, see, that looks better up there. Then there's a bit more. Now I don't have any more silver wire, so let's, where's the end of this? Let's use some fishing line. Oh my goodness. Okay, the end has to be somewhere here. You see the damn thing on, unravel. Oh. Okay. Let's just cut a chunk of this off. Put that over there. Rethread the needle. Fishing line is such, it's good, but it's also crazy stuff to work with. I hope that's good. Why did I like it up there better? Oh, do it from the top. And, this is very, very lightweight, so, and I'm sure that if I, not do it from the top, do it from the bottom, jeez. This is that little wire cluster there is very lightweight, so it doesn't need much. It's not like a heavy scarf pin. No, from the bottom. Oh, I really used a lot of this line. And let's just do, I'll probably just do this sort of like a crisscrossy thing. Oh. Did you see that? I almost pulled the whole thing through and would have had to start again. So because this fishing line is essentially invisible, oh, why don't I put that little tail under there? Let's use a piece of tape to hold this. Because it's essentially invisible, I can do several of these securing stitches, and it's not going to show. And I know you guys know how to keep a secret, so it's not like you're going to tell anybody. This might be one of those things that I grow to love. This is probably good enough. Just go back to the back and call it a day. So I'll go through my, whoa. I'll go through my, what was that crunchy sound? I can either flatten this out or bunch it up depending on what works better, what looks better. Oh, I love that idea. Not so sure about the execution of it, but. And all I have to do is find more wire, and I could do another flower if I needed to, maybe down here, just to sort of repeat the silver. Anyway, I was saying, like maybe, although that would be a rose, not a peony, but of course, we're using our imagination here. I could put either a little flat thing there, I could put a gem there, I could leave it without a center, since it is kind of cool. Okay, so now what am I going to do here? You know, if you watched my video on making the spine, what do I call it? Spine tassel for Daisy's little book, I was talking about fishing line there as one of the options that I was choosing. There are plus sides to it, but there are also some kind of serious downsides to it, so it might not hurt. I'm going to put another piece of tape to hold that last tail down, but it could also be that I should, oh, but now would be the time to do it. Well, let me just see if tape will do the trick. And of course, once I was going to say nail this thing down, glue this thing down to the actual journal cover, it will I like that. It will help secure it as well. So it's been a day and a half since we started this video. I feel like I need to secure this, give it a little height and life. I'm not going to, I don't have enough there to play with to try to turn it over so it's the silvery side showing. Just going to leave that like that. Maybe add a bit of something under here to hold that sheer thing down. Maybe something. Oh, why is that not cooperating? Do I have to put a stitch in there as well? Because I could put, you know, I could sort of just put a stitch right there to hold it. Or I could also use this. It's kind of nice that it sits up like that. Although I should try to get that part at least to catch. So let's kind of, oh my goodness, the glue didn't get down there yet. Just put a smidge of glue there. Just sort of like hold a pleat almost. Now I should probably also put a dot or two where these flowers are, because it won't show through. Boy, that's so blobby. What the heck is going on here? I can sort of scrunch that together so it looks a little more au naturel. Now, while I have this glue, I should probably do a better job of anchoring this. I think I probably left this as it was just to leave me some options. as you know, for tucking something underneath there. And as it turned out, I needed that. Okay. I think this guy's down pretty secure. I should put a dot. Oh my goodness, is it time to thin out this glue? Okay. So I didn't glue this thing down at all. I'm just going to, I hope you can see, I'm just going to do a kind of a little wider few drops in the middle here so that the edges still are inclined to lift up or curl under or whatever they want to do. But, you know, a person couldn't exactly lift it up and see the mechanism underneath. If I turn this back a bit, then some of that other little chiffon-y stuff shows. Okay, I think I've kept you here long enough. Yeah, I think something is still missing, but we're not going to figure that out today. Okay, so what is the takeaway from today's video? Be sure the orientation of your journal is correct before you do anything else. Yay! Oh, it's like I'm finished. Ha! Now I will also, and I should do that before I glue this baby down, is figure out how I'm going to disguise these things here. And this looks a bit incomplete. So I probably need, no, I'm not going to do it now, but I'm just saying, maybe I need a piece of lace over this. I can't make that into, I can't do a pocket because this will be constantly, this is too big. It would be a heck of a thing to try to make this adhere over that lumpiness. Anyway, yeah, my problems have not disappeared. Ha ha. Okay, guys, let's pretend that we made some progress today. I won't tell if you won't tell. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here. You can be sure that this will reappear at some point as the problem solving and the troubleshooting continues. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.